Well, hi there. This is another video from me. It's a request, if you want to call it like that. So you may know that I do have this friend calling himself eflose. That's his nickname. And he has a really big channel, as you can tell by the amount of subscribers. But there's a problem with this channel. His videos are only in German. Why is it like that? Well, he told me that he had English in school, but just for like 1 or 2 years. So he knows basic English. If you write a text to him, a text message, he may reply to it. But speaking English like I do, I have lots of years of experience speaking English, and also it's like my personal interest. I'm reading lots of English forums and watch lots of English videos, and so I learned this stuff. And that's why I achieved that amount of knowledge of English. Yeah, talking English is hard. Because you think in German what you want to say, then you have to translate it into English and then talk it. Write English, easy. Anyway, here is his channel, and a couple of months ago he told me that YouTube changed something, and they changed the option or the ability to add comments to your videos. Not comments, I mean subtitles. A while ago I already made a video ask you to subscribe to his channel because he started adding subtitles to his video. I don't know how he made that, but he told me that it was a huge amount of work. And it took him really long to make one video complete with subtitles. But then YouTube seemed to change something. And now he said it's really easy to add subtitles. It's like inviting to add subtitles because YouTube changed something. And he sat down in front of his computer, watched his videos, and wrote what he said. He wrote the text, and then he translated it into English and added a subtitle to the video again. Of course, he had some help from friends. He had some really good help, and even that, it took him weeks. So I think you can imagine how many videos he changed with subtitles. It took him weeks to make that. And he really put in quite some effort into that, and I think it would be cool or neat if you subscribe to his channel and had a look at his videos. Why is his channel so interesting? Well, it's the variety and the amount of stuff he makes. He's not only making videos about, like, let's say a radio transmitter, which I do, or power inverter or something like that. No, he has a big scale of videos. He's making blogging videos about changes of YouTube, or if there's something happens in the world that's really like affecting a little bit affecting our interest, like electronic interest. He's also making videos about that. He's making videos about microcontrollers, microprocessors, vintage radio, tube radio, DIY radios, and chemical stuff like building your own battery, attempt to build an electrolytic capacitor. Much stuff, much more than I do. And especially this microcontroller stuff may be interesting for you. He's not really into Arduino, but he's making pretty much like PIC16F and stuff like that. Anyway, here I have a short, let's say, close-up of videos that he has. A rather new video is this world receiver that he has. I try to click on it. Here is the world receiver. It's a cheap AM, FM shortwave. As you can see, it goes from 5 to 7 up to, let's say, 22.3 or 22.5 megahertz world receiver. And he's showing this device. It's a world receiver. It's working, but what's inside? Let's see what's inside. And he opens it up. Here you can see the circuit board, an unsharp circuit board. You can see it there. So he opens it up, explains how it works. I try to get a random picture. Here we go. And he's, for example, these two transistors are for switching AM, FM. He's explaining that. Here is the ceramic filter. And he knows that, and he shows it to you and explains it. And there you have the option here, I tried that, to add subtitles. And then on my page he's adding German subtitles. I think I have to do that in big screen. So here you can see these are German subtitles, but I don't know how to change that into English, but he has told me if your browser is English, it will automatically change this text here and change this text here into English, and if you activate subtitles, it will be English subtitles. So he has even taken the effort for people who can't hear that he has added German subtitles and, of course, English subtitles. Another project is vlogging, blogging, electronics. Are comments being eaten on YouTube? I also experienced problems with writing messages and comments in YouTube, and he's talking about that. Do you also have these problems, and so far and so on? He has a broken light bulb. Of course, playing around with high voltage is also one of the videos he makes. Broken light bulb, as you can see, it's arcing here, and here you can see some corona, connecting it to a flyback transformer just for fun. Here he's making a DIY battery where you can see he's using tin foil, copper foil, paper, and of course this won't work without chemicals, which he shows here, which chemicals you need to put together or something like that to get it running. And here is the parts that you need. Here he shows that he has a custom crystal oscillator with a transistor, and he's later at the end of the video going to power this crystal oscillator. As you can see here he's having his receiver. He's powering it with the DIY battery, and he's also powering LED light and so far and so on. Here is a basic video, basics of electronics, the transistor, basics of electronics. How does a transistor work? What does a transistor do? Also, he's of course into vintage electronics. Here he has a tube radio, as you can see there. So here is like a vintage tube radio. He's powering it up the first time, and he shows how he's powering it up, because you need to know some stuff. Here he's having a 13.8 volt DC power supply that goes into a DC AC power inverter, which is hard to get in a sharp picture. I did a couple of attempts to get that. Come on. So in theory, if we had a sharp picture, you would see what I want to show you. So here is the DC AC power inverter. He's explaining a little bit how this works. Then he needs a light bulb in series from the power inverter output, a light bulb in series with the radio, because he needs to reform the capacitors, because they're probably bad after a while. But if you slowly increase the voltage on them, they will reform most of the time. And yeah, he's explaining this stuff, really interesting. And as you can see by the amount of views, lots of people are interested in this stuff. And as I said before, he's also into microcontrollers. So this is a circuit board for a microcontroller. Here he's showing it, how you can make a circuit board. And this is just like a chasing light circuit with a PIC16F. And here you can see another wiring diagram. So everything is which pin we start with the first pin and what you have to wire where, and really well made. As I said, it's in English, but you can in theory activate subtitles. As he had told me that if you are watching the site on a German browser, it will be German, but if you change it to English, then it will be English. Okay, here his latest videos. Shortwave ain't dead yet. A video about shortwave. There are still many stations being receive-able on shortwave. DDS transmitter with 2 switchable frequencies, and here he combines lots of his knowledge. For example, he has a cheap DDS module from China or something like that, and here he has a PIC16F, which of course is just programming. You need to hook up the module to the microcontroller and program it to tell it what to do. And then he combines this digital programming electronic with analog electronic, because as follow-up he has a NE602 mixer IC wherewith he adds amplitude modulation. And this is the previous video. This is just like the expansion, because he has made some function where you can push a button and then it will change the frequency instantaneously. For example, you could build a transceiver with that. Because if you push the button, it will jump to your transmitter frequency and will transmit. And if you release the button, it will jump back to your local oscillator frequency to receive. But here, as you can see, he is programming that. Here is a display showing a frequency and, of course, his YouTube name. This is like the first version, where he's just showing that it works. You can adjust 100 kilohertz and you can adjust it for 1 kilohertz exactly. Anyway, one of his videos. Another basic video, U times I means P. Power calculation, very basic video. Yeah, random stuff. A switch mode power supply, 200 milliamps input, 5 amps output, because it's converting down the voltage and therefore it's increasing the current, and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the eflose electronic channel. Feel free to subscribe to him. I'd really appreciate that if you subscribe to him and he gets more subscribers. He has told me that he earns money with that, with YouTube channel. And if he has more subscribers, he has more views, gains more money and can do more projects. Okay, best regards, Stefan.